It's been a while, my friends. After 3 months of not posting any new content, I'm finally back with another mecha anime related video digest. The reason why I've been gone is simply because I got a job as a video editor, and it's been hard to find the time to make the kind of videos that I was making before I went missing these past 3 months. In order for me to make these kinds of videos, I need to have the time to actually watch a few episodes of a series and find an episode that's interesting enough to make a video out of. I actually have watched the episode that I'll be tackling for this video 2 times already. The first was way back in October, which was around the time I started working, and then the second was just a few days ago. I had to rewatch the first 5 episodes, including episode 6, just so I could refresh my memory in order to write something about this episode. The episode of interest is titled Episode 6, Tetsuya Tsurugi Goes to Hell. What made this episode interesting for me was that it tackled a particular genre or story element that hasn't been much present in the mecha anime that I've watched so far. The episode focused on mysticism, voodoo, and probably witchcraft or sorcery as well. Either of the like, but basically falling in line with the fantasy genre. I didn't really think that it was possible to slip in fantasy elements within a sci-fi genre anime such as mecha anime, but this episode shows us that it's still sort of possible to use fantasy or sorcery as a means to make the story quite unique and interesting. At the beginning of this episode, Tetsuya Tsurugi, the pilot of Great Mazinger, wakes up from a dream where Great Mazinger falls straight down towards the Science Fortress laboratory. The team is there by his bedside and tells him that he's been tossing and turning in his sleep, as though he was having a nightmare. Little do they know that this was an early sign of the curse of Psychoveia, a spectral warrior beast from the Mycenae Empire who has the ability to inflict pain via an effigy that it makes in the image of its opponent, in this case, Great Mazinger. This warrior beast is seen to strike at Great Mazinger's effigy, and while it does so, Tetsuya is simultaneously feeling a strong piercing pain in his chest, which causes him to be unstable and unable to pilot Great Mazinger correctly. Jun questions what is wrong with Tetsuya, and Shiro mentions that a devil's curse has been inflicted upon Tetsuya, that someone or something is doing this to him. Professor Kabuto and Jun disregard the kid for his foolish beliefs, but later on in the episode, Tetsuya mentions to them that someone is cursing him, that the piercing pain in his chest feels as though someone has placed a curse on him somehow, and he's entirely correct. Psychoveia was tasked to change the curse on Tetsuya, because the curse was only able to inflict severe pain, but wasn't truly fatal. So in order to change the curse, Psychoveia must reach close distance to Great Mazinger, but instead finds Boss Borot, and hypnotizes Boss into being so angry towards Tetsuya that he himself begins to strike at Great Mazinger's effigy, while Psychoveia tries to cast a killing curse on Tetsuya Tsurugi. The only way the curse was lifted was when Venus A later on finds the effigy inside of the cave, along with the hypnotized Boss Borot, and destroys the effigy, removing the curse from Great Mazinger and Tetsuya, allowing him to defeat Psychoveia, and the day has been saved once again. I happen to really like this episode because it reminds me somewhat of the Twilight Zone series, or more appropriately, the Ultra Q series from 1966, which is a series that's basically the Japanese version of the Twilight Zone. You guys should check that out. All episodes are available on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description. The music of this episode was also really good to listen to. It gives off this eerie feeling to it that fits well with the subject matter, and also kind of reminds me of Ultra Q and Twilight Zone music as well, just to double down on that reference. I hope to see more episodes like this one. It always bothered me how the pilots of mecha robots tend to scream or cry out in pain whenever their robots are getting injured or destroyed, but this episode sort of gave us an answer to that, in the sense that the pilots and their robots are somehow interlinked with each other, not just simply as man and machine, but as though the two become one whenever they enter the battlefield. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to get notified when another video comes out, and hopefully I'll be seeing you real soon in the next one.